Hey everyone. So I'm going to show you or help a little bit with the sketching graphs from factored form part of DeltaMath because sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating. So I just want to give you a brief video of how you do this because it is a great thing to practice, but you got to know how to use what the system's looking for. So I'm going to just pull it up and your goal is to get 4 correct. I would encourage more, like once you kind of got it figured out. So to sketch the graph of the function below, including correct signs, x-intercepts, and y-intercepts, right? So exactly like what we've been doing in class. So I would encourage you to have paper or something that you can write on the side. So I'm just going to write on the side of my screen here. So this here, like there's a few things that we care about when we're graphing it, right? And I need the degree. I need the sign of the leading coefficient. Right? Those are going to help me figure out the end behavior. Like where does it start? Where does it end? I'm not going to start sketching until I know that. What else do I need? I need the zeros with multiplicity. So like how many zeros does each one have? I'm sorry, how many times does each zero happen? And I need the y-intercept. Right? Those are really my critical features here. So the degree here is 2, 3. And my leading coefficient would be positive when I were to multiply this out in standard form. Right, my first term would be, I believe, 4x to the third. The zeros, it's in factored form, so this is nice. -2, and that has an even multiplicity. It happens twice. And if I were to use the zero product property here, 4x minus 16 equals to 0, I'm going to get 4. And that has a multiplicity of 1. It has an odd multiplicity, even multiplicity. So that tells me kind of how it behaves. The last thing I need to figure out is the y-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 0. Right, and so this is going to give me 4 times -16. So I know that I'm going to get a negative number. And what is that? -16 times 4. I get -4. -64. I don't know why that took me so long. Sorry, guys. Right? Yeah. 16 times 4 is definitely -64. So I know that that's going to be my y-intercept. So I'm going to sketch it on this without even using the tool yet to kind of get what happened. So I know that it's going to start at the bottom and end at the top, right? I know, right, because it's an odd degree, so they have opposite end behaviors, and the sign of the leading coefficient is positive, so it's going to behave like an increasing line. I know that it's got to hit the points -2. It's got to hit the point 4. It's just going to touch this one, right? Like it's going to kiss it. It's going to touch it and turn around. And this one, it's going to go through it. And then my -64 is like somewhere in here. So I'm just going to stick those points there before I go ahead and actually graph this. So what you're going to do is literally sketch it. And so I'm going to I guess I have to use my keyboard. Take my keyboard, and it's a sketch, but I want to make sure that I'm hitting these. So I just said that it's going to hit this and turn around. And I'm using my mouse. I'm using my trackpad. And then it will graph it. If you make a mistake, right, if you're missing the y-intercept and you're not in the vicinity of the y-intercept, you made a mistake. Something wasn't right there. It's not, I don't know how far, maybe it dips down more here. I don't really care, right? It's these critical features that we care about graphing. So I'm gonna, let's see. If you mess up, if you start to graph it again, right, if I go back down here, it's just gonna start it over. And then it will graph it. So then I can say, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to click submit. Yes, I'm ready. Oh, I got it. Right? Like it went farther down there. But we're just using these critical pieces. And I would definitely read through some of these explanations of what they're doing so you can be aware of ways to do it. It does give you a really linear explanation. Okay, and so you can see mine's not perfect, but it's more or less the shape. It's like I'm putting it all together. So your goal is to get 4 of these correct. I would encourage more. These are great practice. for what we expect in class.